What's up, YouTube? This is the weekly analysis for the week of August 28th. We are on the dollar index on the weekly time frame. As you can see, we had a weekly break of structure, so therefore we are bullish on the dollar. There's weekly liquidity here and weekly liquidity here. There's also a weekly fair value gap within here. Most likely we're going to sweep buy side liquidity. Let's go into the daily. As you can see, we had a daily break of structure confirming our bullish bias. We will still be going up. There's weekly liquidity here, weekly liquidity here. So we're bullish on the dollar. So that means we're most likely bearish on everything else. Let's go into NASDAQ. We're on the NQ futures. We had a break of structure to the downside here. That's why we've been going down. We swept weekly liquidity. There's a monthly fair value gap right here. So we're still bearish. Let's go into the daily. We tapped into this gap. And once we tapped into this gap, we just ran away from price. Price broke structure to the upside. And then we swept the buy side liquidity. And then we had this big candle on Newsday, which I think Jerome Powell spoke. That's why I did that. Let's go into the 4 hour. How to break a structure to the upside. There's a fair value gap within here that price has already tapped, and there's one up here. This fair value gap is more reasonable, but there's also one up here. Let's go into S&P 500 on the weekly. We have swept weekly liquidity, and we just recently had a weekly break of structure to the downside. Let's go into the daily. We had a break of structure to the upside, and then we swept weekly liquidity, and that was Jerome Powell again. He affects the market. That's why I don't trade when he speaks. And there's also a daily gap that price is most likely going to tap into, like the NASDAQ. Let's go into the 4 hour. As you can see, we're in this 4 hour fair value gap. So when price taps in here, which it did, we're most likely going to retrace on down until this daily gap or even lower. We are on gold on the weekly time frame. We had a weekly break of structure within here, and there's a weekly gap. This is a mitigation block, right? The break of structure and then the bodies of those candles. So you would enter here. Your stop could be under that liquidity or even lower, and then you can target this gap. That's a 2.5%. We had a weekly break of structure, rally up, swept this liquidity, and then there's a weekly gap that price might likely fill, and that's weekly analysis for the week of August 28th. As you can see, we're on Forex Factory. This is the news for the week of August 28th. On Monday we have no news. Tuesday, there's no news again. On Wednesday, we have Euro USD news. If you're trading the Euro, just look at that. And then British Pound as well. On the US dollar, we have manufacturing PMI. That doesn't really affect it, but you guys can look at it before the market opens, make your analysis off that. And you can just click on this folder and it will tell you if it's good or not. The red folder can impact the market. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims. That affects it a lot. So this is before market open, so you guys can just go tap on this file and then look at it. On Friday, we have Fed Chair Powell speaks. And, oh, okay. Yep, we're not trading. That's a no-no. We don't trade when he talks, so Friday is a day off. Have a good day and have good trading. And just look at this before you trade on Wednesday, Thursday, and don't trade Friday. Have a good day.